Did you know that you can grow your own food, no matter how small your space is? A question many of us may not have thought to ask ourselves, but today we're pushing the boundaries of what's possible and diving headfirst into the innovative and exciting world of urban gardening. Urban gardening, for those unfamiliar, is the practice of growing plants within a city or densely populated area. And we're not just talking about a few potted plants here and there, we're talking about transforming balconies into bountiful landscapes, windowsills into herb gardens, and rooftops into vegetable patches. It's all about making the most of the space you have and creating a green oasis in the heart of the concrete jungle. Now you may be wondering, why urban gardening? Why go through the effort of growing your own food when you could just pop down to the local supermarket? Well, it's more than just about having fresh produce at your fingertips. It's about sustainability, reducing our carbon footprint, and taking steps towards a greener, healthier future. Imagine stepping out onto your balcony and picking fresh tomatoes for your salad, or snipping off some basil from your windowsill for that pasta sauce you're making. Not only does it taste better when it's fresh from your garden, but it also reduces the need for transportation and packaging that contribute to our planet's pollution. But don't worry, you don't need to be a seasoned gardener to get started. Whether you're a green thumb or a gardening novice, urban gardening is accessible to everyone. All it takes is a little creativity, a dash of determination, and a sprinkle of patience, and you'll be well on your way to growing your own urban garden. So are you ready to turn your tiny space into a lush, green, food-producing haven? Let's dive in. In the following scenes, we'll take you through the basics of urban gardening, how to maximize your small spaces, choosing the right plants, sustainable practices, and inspiring success stories. So stay tuned and get ready to embark on your urban gardening adventure. Urban gardening might seem challenging, but it's simpler than you think. In our increasingly urbanized world, green spaces are becoming a rare sight. High-rise apartments, office blocks, and concrete jungles dominate our cities, leaving very little room for nature to flourish. But this doesn't mean you can't have a garden. Enter the solution: urban gardening. Urban gardening is the practice of cultivating, processing, and distributing food in or around a village, town, or city. It's about bringing a slice of the countryside into the heart of the city, and it's gaining popularity around the globe as a sustainable, space-saving solution to urban living. So how does it work? Well, the beauty of urban gardening is that it's incredibly versatile. It can be practiced in a variety of settings, from the smallest windowsill to the largest rooftop. It doesn't require a vast expanse of land, just a little creativity and the right techniques. Let's picture some of these setups. Imagine a balcony adorned with potted plants, each teeming with juicy tomatoes, bell peppers, and herbs. Each plant is thriving, soaking up the sunlight and fresh air. A small yet productive urban garden right there. Think about a vacant rooftop, previously unused and unloved, now transformed into a lush oasis of greenery. Rows of raised beds nurture a variety of vegetables, from leafy greens to vibrant carrots and beetroots. The rooftop, once a concrete desert, is now a productive urban farm. Or consider a humble windowsill, basking in the morning sun. A few small pots are lined up, each sprouting fresh herbs like basil, thyme, and rosemary. Just a few inches of space, but enough to grow flavorsome additions for your meals. These are just a few examples of how urban gardening can be adopted, irrespective of the space available. The key is to utilize every inch of space wisely, to select the right plants and to care for them appropriately. With the right techniques, you can transform even the smallest space into a productive garden. So, let's delve deeper into those techniques in our next segment and start your journey into urban gardening. Got limited space? No problem. That's our mantra as we dive into the world of maximizing small spaces. Now you might be thinking, but my apartment is the size of a shoebox. Well, guess what? Even shoeboxes can be turned into lush green spaces if you know the right tricks. First up, we have vertical gardens. These are fantastic space savers, turning your walls into lush green tapestries. You can use anything from climbing plants like ivy or morning glories to shelves stacked with potted herbs. With a vertical garden, you're not limited to the ground. You can grow upwards, which can really maximize your green space. Next on the list, we have hanging planters. These are a great way to add greenery without taking up precious floor or counter space. Hang them from your ceiling, your balcony, or even your window frames. They're perfect for trailing plants like pothos or spider plants, which will give your space a lovely cascading green effect. And then we have the unsung heroes of small space gardening, balcony rail planters. These clever contraptions hook onto your balcony rail, providing a perfect perch for your plants. From bright geraniums to plump cherry tomatoes, balcony rail planters can host a whole range of green goodies. But it's not just about the kind of planters you use, it's about how you arrange them too. Think about how you can layer your plants to create depth. Maybe you have a tall plant in the back, some medium-sized ones in the middle, and some smaller ones in the front. This way, you're not just growing horizontally, you're growing vertically too. And remember, just because you're working with a small space doesn't mean you can't get creative. Think outside the pot. Maybe you use an old ladder as a plant stand or a shoe organizer as a vertical garden. The possibilities are endless. So there you have it. Vertical gardens, hanging planters, balcony rail planters, and a little bit of creativity. That's all you need to turn your small space into a blooming oasis. See? Limited space doesn't mean limited possibilities. Not when you have these tips up your sleeve, so why not give it a try? You might be surprised at what you can grow in your own little corner of the world. Choosing the right plants is crucial for your urban garden success. So let's dive into the world of greenery that's perfectly suited for city living. First off, herbs. These culinary superstars are a fantastic choice for urban gardening. They're compact, easy to grow, and let's not forget, they're a delicious addition to your meals. Basil, parsley, and chives are excellent picks. They love the sun, making them perfect for a sunny windowsill. And if you've got a place with less light, don't worry. Mint and thyme are your go-to herbs. They can thrive in both shaded and sunny spots. Now let's talk about salad greens. They're not just for the countryside. You can grow your own bowl of salad right in the heart of the city. Lettuces, spinach, and arugula are great choices. They grow quickly, they don't need a lot of space, and you can harvest them multiple times. Just imagine fresh, crispy greens right from your balcony. If you have a bit more room, like a rooftop or a larger balcony, consider growing some vegetables. Tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers are perfect for urban gardens. They can be grown vertically, saving you valuable space, and they're prolific producers, giving you a bounty of fresh, homegrown veggies. And let's not forget about fruits. Strawberries and dwarf varieties of raspberries and blueberries are perfect for containers. They're compact, easy to care for, and they'll reward you with sweet, juicy fruits. Of course, the best plants for your urban garden will depend on your specific situation. The amount of sunlight your space receives, the climate you live in, and the space you have available all play a role. So take your time, do a little research, and choose the plants that are right for you and your space. Remember, the right plant choice makes all the difference. When you choose the right plants for your urban garden, you're setting yourself up for success. You're not just creating a lush green space in the city, you're also growing your own food right there in the heart of the urban jungle. Sustainable practices and community involvement are at the heart of successful urban gardening. So let's dive into some of these practices that can make your urban garden not only a source of fresh produce, but also a model of sustainability. Composting is a great way to reduce waste and enrich your soil. By turning your kitchen scraps into nutrient-rich compost, you're harnessing the power of nature right in your own home. And it's not as complicated as it might seem. A compost bin can be as simple as a bucket with a lid filled with a mix of green and brown organic materials. Next on the list is rainwater collection. This is an easy and effective way to conserve water while keeping your plants hydrated. A simple rain barrel setup can save gallons of water, and your plants will love the natural, unchlorinated hydration. And let's not forget about homemade pesticides. By using natural ingredients like garlic, chili, and even dish soap, you can keep pests at bay without resorting to harsh chemicals. It's a win-win for you and the environment. But urban gardening isn't just about the individual. It's also about communities coming together to transform their neighborhoods. From rooftop gardens that provide fresh produce for local restaurants to community gardens that have become the heart of neighborhoods, there are countless success stories of how urban gardening can make a real difference. Take the story of a small community in Berlin where residents transformed an abandoned lot into a thriving garden. What was once a concrete eyesore is now a lush green space that provides fresh food and a sense of community for its residents. Or consider the transformation of a rooftop in Brooklyn, where a once barren space is now a thriving garden that supplies fresh produce to the local community and restaurants. With a little creativity, dedication, and community spirit, you too can be a part of this green revolution.